Hey there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCGFAM show. So, I told you I was going to be talking about this, the care and upkeep of your pH pen, and I am. But I talked to Larry Borland from Blue Lab, and he gave me some more information. So I'm still kind of putting that together. And because it's Friday, and we like to do interviews on Friday, instead of doing the Blue Lab thing, we'll probably let me get this all together. He gave me some good information about pH pens, taking care of them, making them more accurate, that kind of thing. So we'll do that like on Tuesday, because we'll have the Monday show. But today, Friday, I like to do interviews, so we're going to do an interview. And I've got a good one, because Scott Ostrander from Nectar for the Gods was here. And a lot of people say to me, and I've heard, can you use Nectar with hydroponic systems? So he answers that question straight up. So watch that, and then I'll see you after. So a lot of people ask me, they don't ask me, they ask you, hey, Scott.
They ask each other, too.
They do. Well, people talk about it a lot that I see with emails. People that send me questions, too. Can you use it in a hydroponic system? Can you use Nectar of the Gods in hydroponics? And the answer is yes, no, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
All of those. It depends on how you answer my next 4 questions back. But I get this question a lot, and a lot of people are really gung-ho, want to do hydro. There's nothing wrong with hydro, but, honestly, our line was designed to be top-fed through soil. I mean, everything that we've designed it to do is designed to work with the soil medium and from the top down. With that being said, there's still a lot of guys that want to do it in hydro, and they're going to prove me wrong, and that's fine. Prove me wrong, I'm all about it. I can't recommend it as a hydroponic food because of a few things. The first thing is it's thick. So unless you have a virtual jacuzzi tub underneath your tray, agitating, stirring, and moving the solution around so everything's staying in solution, everything's going to fall out and find a corner and settle.
Well, sure. Well, when you got to mix it. When I'm feeding and the plants there, I'll put 4 or 5 plants. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to mix it up again just in the thing, just in a minute or two. Let alone set it and forget it.
Yeah, no, it's not good for that.
Yeah.
Other main thing is we rely on the calcium molecule to do a lot of work for us in our nutrient line in soil. One of those is it goes in and it chelates metals like magnesium, manganese, boron. We're getting the chelation to occur from our calcium load. Okay. Well, that calcium in the bottle is unbonded, so it's literally sitting there in suspension waiting to find a bond. So in Demeter's, it's unbonded. In Herculean, it's only bonded to calcium phosphate. There's a 1 bond. Okay. Aphrodite's has 1 bond. So all of these want to go in and find. Instantly, they're looking for something to grab onto. Yeah. So if I mix in all of the components of Medusa, which has a ton of metals, well, not heavy metals, but it's got your magnesium, your sulfur, all the other products, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, Gaia, same thing. Well, this calcium, the longer it sits with those, it starts creating compounds again. Oh, sure. We just spent 4 weeks breaking down Medusa to make liquid food. We take 10 weeks to break down Herculean Harvest to make an available bone meal. Well, if you let them sit together for 24 hours, you create the same thing we took 10 weeks to break down. This is why they're in different bottles, is because so they don't do that. That's why if we can make one magical, unbonded, 400 component, single part nutrient, we do that. They don't work. Chemistry does not allow all of these elements to be together without bonding to each other. I got you. So the longer it sits, the less available it becomes in the reservoir. Course. So if you do once a week feeding, the first 2 days, you're going to get reaction just from the feeding. Post that, you literally are feeding them 5 days of compounds that the plants can't access, so you better have microbes in the soil to break those things back down to feed to the plant. So yeah, you can, but boy. It's more work. Now the last biggest issue to me is that Olympus Up. So you got this, which is a nanotech limestone. So this is liquid lime. And we can only get this to about 85% dilution or solubility. So if we take 100 pounds of limestone, we get about 75 to 80 pounds to be liquid, and then what's left over is still in a minute granule limestone. Sure. Well, and that's pretty good. I mean, considering it's a rock. Well, and really by design. I mean, we could get it closer to 100%, but then we're not. The greatest thing about this product is in a peat-based soil or soil that has organic acids building up. That 15% goes into the soil, adheres to peat moss or decaying wood or another element, and then prevents that acid from leaching out and building up and creating an acidic soil.
Buffering the soil, not just buffering the mix,
so
the liquid.
80% is buffering the liquids, and 20% is buffering the soil, so you
by
don't
design.
find that. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, now we put it in a reservoir for 7 days. So let's say we set our pH at 6.0, which would be way too low with our lime, but let's just say we do that.
Okay.
Well, in 6 days, that 6.0 is going to climb up to almost 7 to 7.5 because the other 15 to 20% of the limestone is now going to break down with all the organic acids that are in our nutrients. So as they're breaking down, it's releasing a pH increaser, and now all of a sudden you went from 6 to 7.5 in 1 week's period of time in a reservoir. So now you're trying to figure out why your plants are starving at the end of the week. Well, you're at 7.2.
So I'm mixing this stuff up constantly. I'm putting this in constantly. I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm still not as good as if I would have just put some dirt.
Or it's just a lot more work. For your set and forget it concept is now, you're in there 3 times a day checking your pH and your ppm range and adjusting things to make the solution happen. Now, with that being said, there's also guys in Maine, Massachusetts, California, LA, Texas, Arizona that do it in bucket systems, top feed, drain to waste, ebb and flows, aeroponics. I mean,
people are making it work.
They're making it work. We just don't stand behind it because there's a ton of great products out in the marketplace that are designed for
specifically
hydroponics.
for that.
I mean, if I had to choose, I'd go cutting edge for my hydroponics. I would come back once a week and flush it with Herculean, Aphrodites, and maybe Demeters. Do 1 day of just hand flushing them, and then discard that solution, and then go back and do a week's worth of cutting edge again.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a lot of great products out on the market that are designed for hydro. Man, use their science.
Okay, so there you go. That was fun, right? So that's the show for this week. I had a good time. I hope you did. Thanks for slowing your scroll there and checking us out. Next week's show, we got a lot going on. It's gonna be we're gonna be doing some good stuff and some special stuff for YouTube. But I'll tell you all about that on Monday. So that's the show for this week. Now next week, Green Room Live. Canceled. It's kind of getting into the holiday season, and it's hard to get anyone here, and I didn't have anyone for this next week for a while, and I thought, I'll get someone to fill in or something, and it didn't really come together with something that was going to be really good. So the next Green Room Live is going to be in December, and it's going to be a good one. But no November Green Room Lives. They're kind of taking a little hiatus again, and then I got to tell you, December we're going to have one. It's going to be a good one. In January, holy moly, we got some good stuff coming. So good stuff coming on the show. Good stuff coming with Green Room Live. Just not next week for the Green Room Live. And I'll see you next week. I love you. For more information about anything on today's show, go to our website, OCGFAM.com. Whoops, there we go. OCGFAM.com. You can have a lot of fun there. Go check it out. The OCG Fam Show. It's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you on Monday.